We just got word from Act Blue, the fundraising platform that's been very effective in supporting the Democratic Party. Remember I said at the beginning that sound that you're hearing is the sounds of pens scratching on checks? Quote, small dollar donors raise over $27.5 million on Act Blue in the first 5 hours of Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. $27.5 million just on Act Blue, just in the first 5 hours. Act Blue says, quote, grassroots supporters are energized and excited to support her as the Democratic nominee.
Yeah, we got to talk about Act Blue. There's been some interesting developments from the big Democrat donation platform. And, you know, the fact that they made that statement, small dollar donors, like, why do we need to know that they're small dollar donors? Like, why are you telling us that? You know? I don't know. Does anybody else find that weird? Like the fact that they included that, like all they had to say was, you know, we got in $27.5 million in the first 5 hours after Kamala was announced, but they included small dollar donors, everyday people, just like you all, you know, you guys all contributed almost 30 million. I don't know. That gives me a cause to pause, you know, but maybe that's just me. I want to play this clip from Charlie Kirk because he goes into this a little bit more. And, you know, I have a sneaky suspicion that now that USAID and Trump, USAID is being shut down and Trump is in office and Republicans are looking into all of this, I have a sneaky suspicion that Democrats won't be fundraising, air quotes, fundraising millions of dollars anytime soon again. Just saying. Let's dive in.
For years, the Democrats have had a suspicious fundraising advantage. For years, the Democrats have enjoyed a nonstop flow of money from an organization called Act Blue. Now, Act Blue operates as a fundraising powerhouse that is a pseudo payment processor. So if you are a Democrat donor and you want to give money to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or to Gavin Newsom or to whomever, you have an Act Blue account. It remembers your payment information, very similar to Amazon.com. So when you want to donate to one of these candidates, they make it stupid easy. You could donate to Kamala Harris or to any Democrat in 2 clicks or less. 1, 2, boom, $100. You don't have to input your credit card every time. And they even make it with monthly contributions. They put it on autopilot. Now, Republicans have an equivalent WinRed, but it's just pales in comparison. However, there's something very weird happening at Act Blue. James O'Keefe has done a lot of reporting to Act Blue and found that some of the addresses didn't always correlate with donors. There's a congressional investigation into Act Blue, and more people are calling into a criminal investigation. Now, we have said many times here on this program that the cash advantage that Democrats have enjoyed via Act Blue is highly suspicious. Some people hypothesize, is this money coming from overseas? Is this money coming from Iran or China? We don't know, but we do know that Act Blue does not require the CCV numbers, the number on the back of a credit card, which is supposed to diminish fraud. Without requiring a CCV number, it is a lot easier to be able to steal credit card information, put up fake credit cards, and pump a lot of money into the American political system. Well, right now, Act Blue is falling apart. You got to wonder why. Act Blue, the Democrat fundraising powerhouse, faces internal chaos, the New York Times writes. At least 7 senior officials have left the group, setting off deep concerns about its future as it confronts scrutiny from congressional Republicans. And it won't just be congressional Republicans. If members of Congress end up sending criminal referrals to Kash Patel, I bet the FBI is going to go after them as well. More than $16 billion has passed through Act Blue in 20 years. Let me say that again. $16 billion has pumped through Democrat Act Blue in the last 20 years. We don't know where all this money is coming from. But now Act Blue is starting to close its doors, not officially, but they are collapsing from within. There are so many nuggets of this article. I could do an entire hour-long show on this. Quote, if Act Blue were to become severely diminished, Democrats running for offices at levels of all government could face setbacks significant in their efforts to raise cash. Candidates for offices ranging from school boards and city council to presidency rely on the platform for online fundraising, while Republicans have spent years trying to catch up. We have not caught up on this game.
Not at all. Not even close. Not even close. So, you know, and this is huge. This is major. Because not only have Democrats lost the so-called culture war, right? But now they're losing all of their funding. Like they had already lost. Forget about the funding. They already were going to lose in the midterms, in my humble opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. We shall see. And there's still a lot of time before the midterms, so I guess things could change, possibly. But I believe if the midterms were today, they would lose, and they would lose pretty badly. And if 2028 was here and right now, they would lose that presidential election pretty badly. And so you add on top of that, now they don't have the funding that they once had. They don't have that gravy train behind them. You remember Kamala burned through, I think it came out that over $2 billion in 3 months. 3 months. Like billions. Just imagine if she only had about 500 million. Yeah. Talk about a landslide. Woo. It's going to get real ugly for the Democrats, man. It's going to get real ugly.
The highest ranking legal official at Act Blue, as well as the assistant research director, the chief revenue officer and engineer who spent 16 years building and maintaining Act Blue's infrastructure have all left. They said, quote, Zain Ahmed, who is the last remaining lawyer in the Act Blue General Counsel's office, wrote an internal Slack message on February 26 that his access to his email and other internal platforms has been cut off, and that other messages he posted in Slack have been deleted, according to screenshots obtained by the New York Times. Mr. Ahmed is now on leave from Act Blue, according to a person briefed on the group's staff. And, quote, please be advised that we have an anti-retaliation whistleblower policies for a reason, Mr. Ahmed wrote. Whoa. The congressional investigations are only going to heat up. There might be criminal investigations to follow. Is the Democrat ATM closing?
Yes. Democrats are royally cooked. Royally cooked. And not only I guess winning any type of elections are they cooked, but there's been speculation that a lot of these organizations that are receiving funding are funding protesters, allegedly, right? We remember, and I think I made a video on this. What was it? The campus protest, I believe it was, where, you know, the Hamas supporters and whatnot were out on the campuses, and you'd see the U-Haul trucks pull up, and they had all of these signs that were all perfectly printed, all bundled up, ready to hand out to everyone. Like, it didn't seem organic. It didn't seem like, you know, a bunch of folks got together at somebody's house, they got some pieces of paper, wrote real big in the fat Sharpies, and stapled it to a stick. Like, it didn't seem organic. Like, those were printed, mass produced. That funding is gone too, I think.
Here we get to this story where Elon Musk claims that several Act Blue funded groups are behind the protests. It's one big happy family tree, son, and some would suggest is straight up treason. Ha! Elon Musk has claimed that a coordinated campaign is being waged against his company Tesla, alleging that multiple activist groups are behind recent protests against the electric vehicle giant. In a social media post, Musk suggested that the organizations involved in these demonstrations are funded by Act Blue, a major Democrat fundraising platform. Well, I give you this clip. Take a listen.
You have an opinion on that, or are you just getting paid?
Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Amazing. So some pack.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this.
Interesting.
I think it's interesting the way he says this. I'm going to play this clip for you again, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. The question is,
he could be being sarcastic. Like, the second time he said absolutely, like, it kind of seemed like he was being sarcastic. I'll admit that, right? But he also could be telling the truth. I'm being paid, right? I mean, because think about it. Why else would he be out there? How does he afford to live? If you're not being paid to be out there with the cost of living where it is today because of the Biden and Kamala administration, how are you affording to just have time to just stand out on the street and protest, defund Doge? Is it because you're being paid to do so? I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know.
is this protester outside of a Tesla being sarcastic? 100% I'm getting paid for this. Or is he being serious?
You have an opinion on that, or are you just getting paid?
Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
See, that did not sound like sarcasm. Yeah, I get paid to be out here. Probably does. And then when he gets asked again, maybe he's like,
Amazing. So some pack.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this.
So I'll tell you what I think. I don't know. This tweet says maybe it's sarcasm, but this Tesla protester just admitted to getting paid. The left is going to argue he's clearly joking. He's being sarcastic. He's protesting. Yeah, they do pay people to do things like this. They do. The question is, are they legally required to disclose that they are paid to be there or not? I don't know. You probably could just say nothing. But this is quote unquote campaign work.
I think they should be required to legally disclose that they're being paid to be there. Because when you have to disclose something like that, it completely delegitimizes what it is that you're protesting or your little protest, right? Because if people realize, oh, that group over there protesting Elon Musk, they got paid, then they get ignored. But if nobody knows that they're being paid to be there, then it makes it seem as if it's like some grassroots type of situation where the American people are standing up. Like, no. I'll also play this clip from James O'Keefe, because a while back he looked into Act Blue because there was some weird things going on, right? There would be one individual who made a donation to Act Blue, and all of a sudden there'd be hundreds of donations coming from that same person, amounting to, astronomical numbers that normal and regular people wouldn't be contributing to a political campaign. And so he went to some of these addresses, and just flat out asked the people, is this you? And they would confirm yes. And he would say, well, have you donated to the Democrat Party 30 times in the past year? And they would say, no, I don't have that kind of money. So what is actually happening here? Sounds like money laundering to me. But what do y'all think?
FEC data shows that some senior citizens across the U.S. have been donating thousands of times per year. Some of these individuals' names and addresses are attached to over $200,000 in contributions. We went and knocked on a few of their doors to corroborate the data that we received.
We're wondering if these donors are victims of what appears to be a money laundering scheme.
Cindy No of Annapolis, Maryland, who in the year 2022 allegedly contributed over 1,000 times to Act Blue, totaling $18,849.77. That means Cindy would have had to donate 3 times a day, every day for the whole year.
My name's James O'Keefe, and we're doing a story on the number of people that have donated. You did donate to Act Blue, right?
Once in a while.
What about $18,850?
No, I don't think so.
You know people are using your address?
I don't think so.
Interesting. What I think is happening, and this is just my own personal opinion, just based off of everything that we've seen thus far, is that there was USAID money and possibly some Ukraine money, because remember, Zelensky came out and said that, I believe he said that he's only received about half of the money that he was supposed to be getting. So where's the other half? And I think maybe what's happening here is you have those funds plus a combination of USAID funds being funneled back through Act Blue, or to Act Blue, through these different donors or different random citizens who have donated to Act Blue. It's being funneled through their name into Act Blue to make it seem legitimate, and then obviously through Act Blue out to, Democrat politicians here, there, and everywhere else. That's what I think is happening. What do y'all think? Let me know. It'll be real interesting to watch the midterms and the next presidential election. It'll be real interesting, to say the least. Thanks for tuning in as always. Peace and love. I'm out.